Hey, I'm Max and welcome to the Launch and Destroy game tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make this game right here in Unity, where you can throw different balls with different power, like this one. If I click and makes it bounce, you can destroy some boxes, and when you hit the enemy, the level ends and you can go to the next level or back to the menu. In this part, I want to add the target system, or like the enemy system, which is the thing that you're supposed to aim when you launch. So I'll start by dragging in my target right here and making it a bit smaller. 0.1 scale looks pretty good. I'll put it on top of my box, give it a rigid body 2D, and I actually want to give it a box collider 2D because I don't want him to fall down. Then I will make a script, so create a new C# script for the target. I'll just call it target. In the target script, I'll add a public float force to catch, which is the minimum force you need to hit it with for it to count as a catch, and a public bool caught, I guess. Then I will do a void on collision enter 2D. I'll check if the collision dot relative velocity is greater than force to catch, and we want the magnitude of the force, so relative velocity dot magnitude is greater than force to catch, and if it is, then we want to do caught equals to true, and if you want you could change, for example, the sprite. Then I will put it on my target game object like this, add a force to catch of, let's say, 10, and by default it's not caught. And now if I play, and I'm cheating a little bit here, because we're not supposed to play the game like this, but just for now, for testing, it's fine. And if I hit it, you can see it goes caught true. And just so we have a better visual representation of which one we caught, I'll actually do a get component sprite renderer dot color equals to new color, and I'll do, let's say, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4. And this way it gets a little bit darker when we hit it. So now if I hit it, you can see it turns dark. Now on my canvas, I will add a new text to show how much we have caught out of all the total ones. So I'll add a text, and in here by default I'll put, let's say, 0/3 or something, doesn't matter, we'll change it in the code. I'll do best fit and change the color to white, anchor it to the top left and put it at the top left. I'll increase the max size of the best fit to, let's say, 80 to make sure it's pretty big. Then I will go in my UI script, add a private target array for the targets, and in the starts I'll do targets equals to find objects with an S of type target, just like this. Then I will add a private void update target text. Then I obviously need a public text target text, so reference to my text, and in the update target text I'll do target text equals to targets.length, so the size of our targets array. And actually I need to do the find objects of type every time because I want to make sure that if ones get deleted, the size of the array gets smaller. Then I'll do plus, and then I'll do a space slash space, and then out of the maximum we had, so the one at the start. So I'll add a private int max targets, or like the original targets. And in the start I actually need to put this back, so sorry about that. And I'll do max targets equals to targets dot length. So at the start we get the amount of targets, we set the max targets, then every time we want to update the target text. So when we touch a target, we'll call this, it's going to calculate the new amount of targets and then set it here, and then plus the max targets. And actually, my bad, to call it from the other class we need to do public here. And then in the target class, after we hit the target, we can do find object of type UI.update target text. And we also want to call it in the start function of the UI, so we can have the right text at the start. Now we have to go on our camera and set in our UI the target text, so this right here. And now when I start, it says 1 on 1. And when I go and hit it, it should say 0 out of 1 left. So you can see now it turned dark, but it still says 1 out of 1. And that's because here we get all of the targets, but we don't check if they're caught or not. So what I'll do here is actually do a private void get caught targets. Then I will actually remove the targets target array and simply add a target int. In the start I'll simply put the find objects of type here instead of the targets, so just get the length of that. And in the get caught targets I can simply do for each target t in find objects of type target. Above it I can add a int I or something just to count the amount that are caught. Then I'll do if t.cut i++, And after the for loop, I'll do target equals to I. So I think target is actually not a good name for it, and it's important to name things correctly. So this is actually the caught targets and the max target. So I'll do caught targets for this one. And finally, in the update target text, I can simply do get caught targets. And instead of getting the length of all the targets, only get the caught one. So now it shows 0 out of 1. And if I hit it, it should show 1 out of 1. And there you go, it now shows 1 out of 1. Thanks for watching this part of the tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to check out my other Unity tutorials if you did. And subscribe if you want.